Greetings, I'm back. I'm just going to talk, and I'm going to talk because I feel like I'm at the stage now where things are happening, things are moving very, very quickly, both inside this country but also in the West. But I just wanted to give you my take and my flavour. So this video is entitled, "Is Education Racist?" I'm not talking about the curriculum, I'm talking about education and possibly teaching itself. So is education and teaching racist? Now, I'm going to dig deep. And the reason I'm going to dig deep is because this is something that personally I can see it has touched and affected so many people. Like, I could speak about the systemic racism and the people behind the systemic racism. We could talk about head teachers in, let's say head teachers in the country in general. At the moment, there are less than 3%. 3% BAME. So 3% BAME head teachers in the country. And representative, is it? No. You're talking about 14 to 20% of our country, and growing, is of BAME identity. So people that identify as black, Asian, minority, and ethnic for those people, and other ethnicities for those people that don't understand that. So let's talk about my own personal experiences. So I have taught for 17 years, and in those 17 years, I have seen so many different things. I have now worked for 10, let's put that into context, 10 head teachers in 5 different schools. 10 head teachers, 5 different schools, none of which have been black. None of them. Not black, not Asian, and nowhere near any minority. Okay? That's 10 head teachers, 5 different schools. I have worked in 5 different schools, I've just said. I have never, ever seen any BAME member of SLT. Not one. Not one. I've worked for 17 years, and I've not seen a single BAME member of SLT in any school that I've worked with. And then I begin to understand the problem, and I start to delve a little deeper. So, like I said, in the first school I ever taught at long term, I qualified there, and we can talk about the issues that were there. So, when you think about the panels you go on to go and do interviews, so I did five or six interviews within one school. I went for a head department job. I was the only candidate to go for the head department job. It was an internal job, head department job. My then assistant head teacher, who used to be head department, told the second in department to go for the job, to go against me. And in the end, she got the job, even though she didn't particularly want the job. And this is the point I'm talking about. The point is, we have this saying, and this saying is, for me, if your face doesn't fit, you're full of shit. And I think the driving point for me is, this is happening everywhere. You think about the amount of times you'll go for a job and you are denied that post because of things like your name, for example. Why do people give a shit what my name is? Like, my name's T'Challa. Why do people give a shit what my name is? Like, I've done tests. I've done tests with other people where we've both done the same CV. Our stats are exactly the same. Applications exactly the same. Because my name is different, I am challenged for it, and I don't get an interview for it because of that. How is that right? And that is in deep racism. Like, for me, I'm born here. I'm Black Caribbean, but I am born here. Born in Birmingham, proud of where I come from. Yes, my parents are from the Caribbean. Yes, they gave me an African name. But what does that matter? Why do people care? Because of the indented racism that people are facing when they're applying for jobs, because they may sound a little different, but they can still deliver the English language. How is that right? How is that fair? Now, everyone talks about diversity in education. Everyone talks about how diverse schools are. But when you've got so many kids, especially down here, because I'm based in London now, especially down here in London, you think about all these schools that are full of bright black children or BAME children, and they don't see anyone rising or ascending to the places they're supposed to get to, putting in all this work but not getting to the places they're supposed to get to. So what is the end product? They then see, well, there's not a way forward, so why am I bothered about education? Our job is to delve deeper and do better. Our job is to help support and drive every child. It's not about the black children, it's about every single child. But at the end of the day, if we are stuck being middle leaders, I've been a middle leader for 10 years, if we are stuck being behaviour managers, if we're stuck going the pastoral route instead of the teaching and learning route, how does anybody ever develop? How does anybody ever grow? And this is the biggest situation that we are facing at the moment. Because if you go right across this country, and I'll take you back to Birmingham, where I spoke to hundreds of people who look like me, who are stuck where the glass ceiling is. And that glass ceiling is middle leaders. It's not assistant head teacher, it's not deputy head teachers. I know of one deputy head teacher who is black. One, me personally, from my experience, I know one. I know one assistant head teacher. That deputy head teacher was an assistant head teacher for 8 years because the school she was in would not promote her. And she did everything from teaching and learning right the way through to pastoral. So if these are the struggles we are facing, if no one wants to promote us, what's the next step? Who's going to call this out? Who's going to stand there and call this out? I go to conferences all the time. We stand there and talk all the time. But in truth, no one does anything. So who out there is going to call this out? Because the system that we are in at the moment, that us teachers love and growing, is corrupt. And you can't tell me that it isn't. The system we are in is so corrupt that people are denying us the right to progress. I don't know why. We aren't aggressive. We have this stereotype of being aggressive. Like, I'm angry. I'm not aggressive, but I'm angry. And I'm angry because I am being denied and I am being blocked. Just like the thousands of other BAME teachers out there are being denied and being blocked. We grow, we develop, we do the CPD, we get blocked. Why? I applied for a diverse leaders course. Okay, let me give you a prime example. I applied for a diverse leaders course and was told by my then line manager, oh, why do you want to apply for that course? We have loads of courses here. And I stopped and thought, and me being me, I didn't want to come across as the aggressive, stereotypical black male. I didn't want to do it. So I sort of took a step back and went, because you don't deliver on diversity. And that was the end of the conversation. Because for me, if you can't put those measures in place in your own school, then you have a problem. If you don't see there is racism within teaching, you are part of the problem. And the biggest thing is, we aren't prepared to address it. We're not prepared to address it. But I tell you what, I'm going to do my best to do that. Because I'm going and speaking. I'm doing keynotes. I'm going and speaking virtually and speaking to people and growing a network and doing that here in South London. Because otherwise, what's the point? What's the point in me speaking my mind to you guys here so you can hear when no one else is going to take the message on and take it forward? Now, I appreciate there are going to be white allies out there. I'm blessed to know so many great people who are supportive of everybody, regardless of colour, creed, race, ethnicity. I'm blessed to be part of that. But if you aren't part of the solution, if you aren't part of pushing people forwards, then you are part of the problem. Everyone talks about white privilege. What is white privilege? Well, it's as basic as this. If you can ignore the problem, you have white privilege. If you have the possibility to change something, regardless of the colour of your skin, then do it. There are too many people out there sat on their hands. There are too many people out there with their mouths closed. There are too many people out there who are not seeing the big problem. And the big problem is the colour of people's skin. I feel like we're fighting a losing battle, but it's a battle I'm going to continue with because I'm tired. Like, I am tired of being held back. I am tired of being driven down. I am tired of being lied to. It hurts. Seeing threads on Twitter and Instagram, it hurts. Seeing that SLTs aren't prepared to help people when they come to them with issues about race, it hurts. I read a thread yesterday morning. Wow. Like, I got 3/4 of the way through it, and this is hundreds of people talking about their own specific racial experiences in school, from when they were kids themselves, to when they were students, to when they were teachers, being mocked for the way they talk. Kids coming in shouting bombs, bombs to Muslim teachers. But SLTs aren't prepared to do anything. So what's the next step? Where do we go? I don't want to give problems. I want to find solutions. How do we show the impact? How do we change other people's views? And that isn't our responsibility. It's not our responsibility for people to change how they see us. Again, I'm not coming at you as an aggressive person. I'm coming at you as an angry person because I'm upset. I'm worth more. I know my worth. I'm worth more. Everyone out there who's putting in the effort and putting in the work is worth more. We deserve more. We deserve to be recognised for what we do. We deserve people to put respect on our names. Don't shorten your name. I don't care what your name is. At the end of the day, it's your given name. You shouldn't be embarrassed by your name. Don't get other people to call you by a different name. Your name is your name. But at the end of the day, know your worth. Whether you are BAME, be proud, be strong, be happy. Join a network. There are hundreds of people out there who don't recognise that there are things going on behind the scenes. Join a network of people who are going to help support, mentor, lead you, grow you as a person, and more importantly, as a teacher. I set myself the goal 10 years ago of being a head teacher in this country. Can I be one of the 3%? No, because I want to be part of the 10%, the 20%, the 30%, which is what this country actually needs. It needs more. Why is there no Rooney Rule? It needs more. We need more. We need to build the characters of every single person so they are strong enough to break through this glass ceiling that is holding us back. We deserve more. We do deserve more.